Next up we have Sean. This is pretty nice footage of skiing into the sunset with a bit of fog around. This is really nice free skiing. This bloke can obviously run the course. He's free skiing like someone that can run some serious buoys in the course. What I'm noticing is that you're coming up. So the angle of your body relative to the water is reducing after your edge change and prior to your turn. It's really important that we get rid of that from your free skiing, because I guarantee you that there's a little bit of this incorporated into your course skiing. It'll be quite tricky for you to get this out of your free skiing because your free skiing is so nice and smooth. It's obviously something that you do each time, but I think the ticket to get rid of it will be come off the second wake, do your edge change. The moment you start to let go of that hand, I want to see you begin your turn. The turn can take a while to start, but there's a real distinct zone where you go straight, and there's no real need for that. We can have you basically go from edge change into pre-turn. And I think with the amount of speed and width that you're carrying, we're not going to have any issues with bringing you inside course width. So have a crack at that. Just roll through your edge change and then begin your turn immediately. Don't allow your body to sort of rise up, go straight, and then drop back down for the turn itself. Next up we have Scott, and man, this bloke can ski. And also, as you're watching this footage, have a look at where he's skiing. There's about 9 boathouses on this lake, better than any boathouse I've seen in Australia. This is pretty cool footage to watch. So Scott, honestly, it looks pretty good. I'd kind of want to see something shorter before I really picked on this. If I was to take a guess at what goes wrong when the line is shorter, you're probably going to fold in half at the back of the ball due to not finishing your rotation, but I'm not convinced that that would be your problem on these shorter lines. And if that isn't your problem on the shorter lines, I wouldn't necessarily have you out there on these 32 off passes attempting to fix that sort of little rotational pause at the back of the ball, because for a 32 what you're doing here is quite good. So good skiing, Scott. Send me something shorter, mate. Honestly, this looks fine. Next up we've got Ryan. Ryan sent me a video of 235s. It honestly looks like someone that can run a 38, or at least can be very close to running a 38, but just based on these 35s that I'm looking at, which are quite good, I think the gait is the only thing I'm seeing which doesn't then correlate to 38 off and beyond. What I'm seeing here on the gait is you're relying on the line to go tight prior to beginning your rotation in. And if you extrapolate that to the shorter lines, for the rope to be tight, you have to have dropped back on the boat quite a lot, and that's going to be incredibly narrow by the time we're talking about 38 and 39. If you look at elite skiers, they stand up there in their gait glide with a little bit of a dip in the line, unless they're doing a one-handed gait, because you can keep a tight line with a one-handed gait because you get that separation via your elbow. But if we're just talking two-handed gaits, you're going to see elite skiers get a bit of a dip in the line and actually begin their rotation in before the line goes tight. And what we're seeing here with Ryan is he's dropping back and waiting for the line to be tight. When the line's tight, he's then using that tight line to help him rotate the ski underneath it. It's a tricky habit to get out of, but it can be learnt on the longer lines, which is a pretty good thing, because often when you're learning 38 and 39 for the first time, the things you're working on don't apply to the longer lines, but that's not the case here. So Ryan, next time you ski, cut out, get into your glide, notice that there's a bit of a dip in the line, and find a way to rotate in under that line before it goes tight. Ryan, when you go out and try this, it's going to feel quite weird because you're so used to dropping back, feeling that line tension, and then using it to flick your ski under. If you're standing there in the gate glide with a bit of a dip in the line, it's going to be hard to actually make that turn in happen. So what I want, Ryan, is for you to stand there, and right when you first want to begin your turn in, just think about moving your chest towards the pylon. And that point is going to change as the rope gets shorter, but it will continue to be the correct direction to move your mass in order to roll the ski on edge, engage the front, and begin that process of flicking the ski under the line before the rope has actually become tight. And if you get that right, you're going to have to exaggerate it quite a lot before you sort of find the right window. But if you get that right, you'll soon notice that you don't need the line to come tight for you to rotate under it. You can just stand there, rotate under it, then it comes tight, and you go and progress into quite a hard cut very early, just like in the course.